Good morning, everyone. I am here with a new breakfast for today. Really got this idea from eating out at a restaurant over a mini getaway, and it was an omelet stuffed with green chili. And it was so like green chilies, like diced green chilies. So I had the brilliant idea of what would happen if I blend the green chilies, mix them with the eggs, scramble them up, and then cook that as an omelet filled with sausage, cheese, topped with avocado and salsa. No idea how this is going to turn out, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm doing, I do have two pans here, and that is because this back one I'm going to be using for the spicy sausage, the front one for the omelet. So the omelet one I'm putting on about a 3, and this one a little bit higher at about a 6 for the sausage. Now I am using Jimmy Dean hot sausage. I think it's going to be a really good complement to the chili, so I'm going to get that started. Now keep in mind I'm making an omelet just for myself using 2 eggs, so I'm not using a bunch of sausage for my omelet. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the can of green chilies, and here is where I am not sure if I want to blend this entire can. Is that going to be too much? Something else to keep in mind when picking out your green chilies, they do have hot. I did get the mild, so just something for you to kind of keep in mind. Now I think I'm gonna do, and you guys know I'm not the best with measuring, but I'm thinking roughly 2 tablespoons. So we've got quite a bit left in that can there. Got our 2 tablespoons here. You know, maybe a little bit more. So maybe about, I don't know, still about 2 to 3 tablespoons. And then we're gonna get these blended. Now you could just mix these right into the scrambled eggs if you wanted. And I do have, again, the sausage going in the background, so I'll be checking that periodically. All right, let's get these guys going. And I really don't know how well that is going. You know, I think I'm gonna need more in there to get them blended. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just gonna dump a whole can in there, and we'll go from there. Okay. Now one of the reasons I'm doing it this way is because sometimes those chilies do have like a little bit of a skin on them that will still kind of peel off when you're eating it. I want to avoid that. All right, so now we've got our green chilies blended, and that is way more than I really want to use in the scrambled eggs. So let's do this. Let's break the yolks, break the eggs first. Again, first time making this, have no idea how it's going to turn out. And if you've got your burners heating up too, or your burner for your eggs, what I'm going to do now is put some butter in that burner. And we've got our sausage back there. Let's go ahead and just get that cooked. I'm going to chop it up and try to get it more crumbly. All right, let's go back over here. So we're definitely going to add some salt and pepper. And again, maybe just the 2 tablespoons still. So I thought about blending the eggs with the green chilies, like blending it all together. And that might be an idea too. I've just never done that with eggs, so I have no idea how that would work or be. Maybe I'll try that another time. So yeah, just mixing your green chili, blended pureed-ish green chili in with your eggs. And as you can see, it is kind of wanting to gather in the corners here. We want to make sure we get that all blended. Let's check on our pan. Butter is nice and melted. Just gonna really try to coat that pan there. There we go. There we go. Nice and coated. Yum. All right. We've got the pan for the omelet on a 3 medium-low heat, I guess you could say. I'm just stirring this. And I'm gonna just take the sausage here and turn it down a little bit more cooked than I prefer, but I'd rather have it more cooked than undercooked. So that's pretty much done, honestly. That's just gonna go back on that burner, and I'm just gonna turn that off because again, that is good to go. Now I do have quite a bit of that green chili puree left. No idea what I'm gonna be doing with it, but putting it in the fridge for now. Some other things I thought would be really good in this omelet were beans, like refried beans, you know, even just pinto black beans. I thought they would make a really nice addition. Maybe even ham, bacon if, you know, you don't want to do sausage, or just nothing, maybe no meat in your omelet. And then there are, of course, a couple different cheeses you could always use. While I do want to do some pepper jack at some point with this type of omelet, I am just partial to my cheddar cheese. I do love my cheddar cheese. So gonna be sticking with the cheddar cheese. But again, so many options when you are cooking to really just try to bring out the flavors that you're looking for. I'm going to be topping it with avocado and fresh salsa as well. So just really excited. It looks like it's actually cooking pretty decently. So I'm so excited to see how this turns out. Mostly hoping that it turns out well though, right? Oh yeah, it looks good. And I do like to just kind of fold the omelet over, let some of that mixture come. Kind of make the omelet a little bit bigger. I've noticed if you do this too much though, it really does take away from the center of the omelet. So just be careful when you're doing something like that. You want your omelet mostly to be level and the same. Well, and you obviously want to make sure your pan is on the burner or you're just going to be cooking all day and probably not be cooking the best of food. Okay, so I really don't like when my eggs brown on the bottom. So I'm going to be turning that down. I don't think it's really the eggs as it may be the chilies. And this is really watery, but I'm going to, yep, did it work? Nope, that didn't work at all. Okay, so let's see how we can try to salvage this. Because what I've noticed right now making this is that those green chilies seem to almost make the eggs more soft. It feels like they were just a bit more fluffy-ish. Fluffy or soft. I turn the heat down to about a 2.5, again trying to avoid the brown. By the way, the restaurant that inspired this dish is called The Rose. So just wanted to throw that out there. Now another idea, you could mix those leftover chilies with the sausage and put it into the omelet. That is, of course, another idea. It looks delicious. And you can see where some of those chilies didn't blend completely, so you've got a few of the chunks left there. Perfect. And look, so far so good. Saving this omelet. And I did flip it again just so whatever, you know, uncooked egg on the other side is now going to get cooked. And we're going to flip it again here in a moment and start loading it up. I've just really been obsessed lately with omelets, but not only that, but with like putting the spinach in the egg of the omelet and letting it cook that way, and then stuffing it with like mushroom and tomato, but letting it have the egg itself have its own kind of vegetable. I'm actually going to flip that again. I want some of this to be a little more cooked. And obviously don't give up on your omelet. If you flipped it like I did and it got all crazy, look, just smooth it out. You're good to go. So I feel pretty good about this side being cooked. And so I'm going to start adding the cheese and the sausage. And really just do how much ever cheese, sausage you want, I would say. Because that's what's fun about cooking, in my opinion, is you get to make it yours. Like here, I'm giving you some ideas. Now you make it work for you. And you can see the eggs just barely have this green tint to them. Just barely. I think we're done, so we're turning it off. I'm gonna give it another flip. Add some of the stuff back into it. Honestly, I cannot believe that it still came out as an omelet after that horrible flip, but I'm proud and impressed. All right, so make sure you turn your burner off. Your omelet is ready to be plated and garnished. So here we have just a really simple salsa, right? Roma tomatoes, 1 jalapeno, some onion, salt and pepper, shake it, mix it all together. So delicious. So we're gonna add some of that there. All right, let's have a bite. All right, so again, new omelet where we blended the diced green chilies, scrambled them into the eggs, made our omelet base essentially, and then stuffed it with that Jimmy Dean spicy sausage, shredded cheese, shredded cheddar, and then the homemade salsa and avocado there on top. Let's go. Oh my gosh, I don't know where to start. I'm curious the texture of the eggs too, since they did seem a bit soft. Trying to get a bite that has everything. Oh my God, that is so good. And the eggs are almost like more fluffy. So definitely recommend, you know, making this, trying this for yourself, experimenting. And honestly, not just with this meal, but all of your meals. Play around, see what you like, see what works, see what doesn't work. And again, just like when I flipped the omelet and I thought it was over, just kind of squish it out. Don't give up, keep going, see what you create at the end of the day. Thank you for sharing breakfast with me. So there we have breakfast. Let me show you, really it was like brunch. It's like almost 1 p.m. These are dinner. These are jalapenos stuffed with chicken, shredded cheddar cheese, wrapped in bacon with, of course, seasoning on the chicken. Now, I do want to point out the difference with these jalapenos, and I do have that recipe on my YouTube, so check it out if you want to make them. They are so good. The difference, though, is I used canned chicken this time. Much easier, already cooked. It takes a lot of the work out for you. Just mix it with the cheese, stuff it in the peppers, wrap them in bacon. Very easy. Something else I wanted to point out with today's omelet, the green chili omelet, maybe adding some fried potatoes in that omelet would be good as well. Again, beans and different meats, also another option, or none of that, maybe some additional veggies if that's what you like. Again, I want to thank you guys for hanging out today. I'm gonna try to be better about posting my meals, I think, over this next week, just to see how it goes, because I have so much fun cooking and I want to share that with everybody. Really just encourage others to get out there and cook and play around with the food. Just see what you create, right? Just like the omelet, I thought I messed up, and holy cow, I have no idea how it was saved, but thankfully it was, and it turned out wonderfully. So don't give up on yourself when you're cooking. Work it through, even if you ended up with a scramble. Hey, it's something. All right, everyone. One last thing with the omelet, I would have probably added a bit more of the green chili to the eggs. But I'm also wondering if it needs to all be blended together. So anyway, lots of thoughts there. I'm also now thinking about how can I make a quiche with it. So stay tuned. Let's see what I do with those leftover green chilies, and I'll see you here shortly. Here we have those jalapenos I prepped this morning.